Thank you for joining me for today's practice. And this practice is something that I was inspired to put together after I rewatched a TED Talk given by social psychologist Amy Cuddy. In this TED Talk, she speaks about her research where she's found that our body language has a effect on our mood and how we see ourselves. And so the link for this TED Talk is below. You can check it out if you're interested. And I do encourage you to watch it if you've never seen it before. And I also encourage you to share the science as Cuddy herself suggests at the end of her talk. So the idea that I got from rewatching this video of hers was to incorporate some fundamental spinal movement that we do in yoga with a couple of the power poses that she mentions in her talk. And I thought that by doing that, that could be a really nice way to relieve tension as well as boost our mood. So I think you're going to find it really effective and fun to do. And it's about 15 minutes long. So it's a great practice to do at any time when you're needing that break, especially if you've been working maybe at the computer or sitting for a long time. Or even if you're just feeling lethargic or just kind of feeling a little down, I encourage you to check out this quick tension relieving mood booster. So let me know what you think. I always love getting your feedback. You can leave your comments below. And of course, like the video and subscribe if you want to know about all the other videos that I post. And then if you are finding value in my yoga videos and my meditation videos here at Empowered Wellness with Sheetal, then you might consider also joining one of my Patreon communities. When you join one of my membership communities on Patreon, you are helping me help you by supporting these videos. And you're also getting an opportunity for exclusive content that I only post out there for my Patreon members. These are exclusive videos as well as other content and also discounts that I offer for my online workshops. So you can again check out links for that below as well. And yeah, so if you're ready to relieve some tension and boost your mood, go ahead and I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, so let's begin with a slightly wide stance. So bringing those feet just a little bit wider than your hip centers, toes pointing forward. And as I always like to do in any kind of standing pose, we're going to ground through those feet. So I encourage you to use a little trick, lifting those toes up. And then I also like to kind of teeter my feet side to side to really get a nice stretch through the balls of my feet. So you may want to try that, just kind of stretching out from one side to the other with your toes up. And then once you feel like you've got some nice connection with the ground there at the base of the big toe, base of the pinky toe, and your heels, go ahead and ease the toes down and feel that grounded, even balance at the edges of your feet. Nice big breath. And as you exhale, feel the weight of your body sinking down, rooting you and grounding you into the floor, into the mat. Awesome. And then shake out those knees a little. So notice any tendency to push back through those knee joints. And if you are doing that, definitely shake out those knees and continue to focus on pressing your weight downward rather than back into the knees. Let the knee joints stay soft as possible, even though they're fully extended here as we stand up nice and tall. Next step, stabilizing through the core. So engage that pelvic floor upward. And to give you a little visual of that, bring awareness to your pubic bone and your tailbone. And imagine those 2 points at the pubic bone and the tailbone coming closer to each other, kind of drawing inward. You could think of it that way as well. And when you do that, that those muscles there at the pelvic floor engage. And it's not forceful, it's not aggressive, it's a gentle engagement. You're going to feel it, but it shouldn't wear you out, or it shouldn't feel forceful or too aggressive. Along with that, you may notice when you do that, that the lower abdomen kind of begins to engage naturally. So we pull that belly button back toward the spine, and you can feel the stability here at your core, at your pelvis. Nice upright spine. And the next thing we'll do, bringing those hands to the hips, we are assuming our first power pose, the Wonder Woman pose, if you will. And so, as you hold this pose, this stance, this powerful stance, take a few big breaths. With each exhalation, feel your weight sinking down evenly through your feet. Feel your core gently engage, the pelvic floor lifted, your navel gently pressed back to your spine. And then sink your hands into the sides of your hips there. Not pressing again aggressively, but just letting the weight of your hands sink and allowing your shoulder blades to settle downward against the back of the ribs. Feel your elbows gently pulling outward, the points at each elbow drawing outward to create space between your collarbones, between your shoulders. Take a few big breaths here again in your Wonder Woman pose. Feel it. Feel the strength of this pose. Feel the upliftment. You might even affirm to yourself here and connect to feelings of being bold, being courageous, being strong, feeling empowered. Take two more breaths. Maybe you sigh out and sound out if that feels good to you. And then as you finish that second breath, gently turn your hands backwards. So the fingers go back, the thumbs come forward. Again, sink the weight of your hands into the hips, this time more toward the lower back or the pelvic rim at the back side. And again, feel those elbow points drawing outward to create space between the shoulders at the collarbones. We're going to do a little gentle back bend here to ease tension from the spinal region. So I'm going to shift sideways just so you can see this a little bit better. Grounding down through the feet, maybe a little bend in the knees. We're going to tilt the top of the pelvis back as you continue to engage the core, and then lifting up through that heart center. Elbows ease outward, continue to ease outward as you find your first place of resistance in your back bend. And wherever that is, take a big breath. Press down through those feet. Maybe you straighten your knees, maybe you keep them bent. But just feel that first edge and then breathe a big breath. And as you breathe, you may find that your body wants to go further. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Whatever works for you. Stay at the edge that works for you, where you feel the strength, your groundedness pressing down through the lower body, your elbows reaching out gently to create space in your front body, and that nice back bend here, softening through the back, breathing, holding strong all along the spine. One more breath here. And then if you had your head back, gently bring the chin forward, bring the shoulders back, upright spine once again as you engage your core. So back in that Wonder Woman pose with the hands forward, take a nice big breath here, feeling grounded once again. Awesome. So we're going to do a couple more spinal movements to relieve that tension. So lifting the left heel off of the floor and then raising the right hand up, left arm down. Now pressing through the ball of that left foot, ground through the right foot, reach up through that right arm as you gently reach down through the left arm. Just be aware. Notice the tendency or any tendency to roll that left shoulder forward. Engage that shoulder back against the shoulder blade against the back ribs there so that you're keeping the front body open at that left shoulder. So lengthening, take a big breath here, and on the exhale, little side bend, pulling down through the left arm, gently reaching up and side bending through the right arm, press down through that supporting foot that's on the floor completely, and then ease it back. As you ease it back, that arm comes down. We're going to shift the weight and bring the other heel up. Other arm goes up. Again, lengthen. Breathe. Just notice again any tendency for the knee to shift. Keep the knee right over that heel. And then a little side bend. So we're going to do this a few times, and you're going to do it mindfully, conscious movement. There's no rush, because when we do it slowly and consciously, really anchoring, grounding through the feet, stabilizing through the core, stabilizing that knee in line with the hip. When we do these movements really mindfully, slowly, we're going to access connective tissue that we normally wouldn't access if we were moving really fast and working with momentum. And in this case, we're not really working with momentum. We're being really deliberate. We're working with conscious movement. So one more to either side, opening up and breathing those breaths, full breaths. And it might be multiple breaths. It doesn't have to be one breath per movement. Keep breathing those nice big full breaths as you move consciously through the body. And then when you've completed that last one, just come back to your neutral position, hands on the hips, ground down through those feet once again. Engage that pelvic floor, elbows reaching to the side, opening up through the shoulders. Awesome. So let's do another little spinal movement to relieve that tension. We're going to turn the toes outward, and you might even turn the heels out a little bit more. Make those feet a little wider, arms come down, and a little empty coat sleeves twisting movement through the spine. So we're going to do some sounding with this one. Nice breath at the center. Exhale, flail those arms around, maybe even lift that opposite heel, and then come back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Maintain focus on points in front of you as you move side to side, sounding out maybe a ha on the exhale, or maybe blowing it out, blowing out that exhale, or maybe even just a sigh. Find the pace that works for you. It's still a mindful movement, even though we're going a little faster than we were going with our side bending. Let's do a few more. And then slow it down even more. Coming back to center, reestablish the grounding, pressing down through the feet, engaging and stabilizing the core. Let the shoulders roll back. Feel the hands gently pulling down. Ah, awesome. One more movement here. And with this one, we're going to incorporate another power pose, or what I like to call the universal pride and joy pose. So we're going to inhale and reach it up, lengthen through those hands, brighten those fingers, stretch those hands and fingers, and then ground down again. Check in with your grounding through your feet. If you ever need to do the little trick with lifting your toes up to reestablish that balance and grounding through the feet, go right ahead and do that. And feel your lower body pressing down. Feel that core engagement and stabilization at the pelvic floor and the lower abdomen. Elbows are extended, but if that doesn't feel comfortable, you can always have elbows bent. Shoulder blades are anchored at the back of the ribs, so there's no shoulder shrugging here. And those arms are reaching bright and strong. One more breath on the inhale here, and on the exhale, we're going to bend those knees over the toes, sweep those arms down, and inhale up again. So continue a few more times with this movement. As you bend those knees, we're hinging forward slightly, keeping that spine neutral, noticing any tendency to round. So that's what we don't want to do. We don't want to roll the shoulders forward or round the back. We want to keep that nice, strong, lifted rib cage, open heart, neutral spine as you breathe, inhaling, reaching, and exhaling, easing down. A few more here. And then on this next inhale, we're going to reach it up and hold that pose of pride and joy. And once again, give yourself a big smile. Feel your strength, feel your power. Again, maybe you affirm something to yourself here, a particular intention that you want to hold. Maybe you kind of say to yourself, I rock, or whatever comes to mind. We're going to hold this power pose for one more breath, big breath in and out. And ease it down as you continue to breathe nice and slow. Feel the energy all around you as you lower your hands. Maybe you feel the tingling at your fingertips, at your palms, around your arms, and then just ever so gently allow those arms to hang at your sides. And we're going to finish up with a little bit of shaking. Shake, shake, shake. Shaking is a really great way to release tension. We're going to release any lingering energy that is not serving us, that we're holding on to. So shake out those feet, ankles, whichever way feel good. Shake out those hips, shake out those shoulders. However you want to shake them out, shake out those hands, elbows, get everything involved here. Make it fun. This is about boosting our mood as well as relieving tension. So make it fun as well. And believe me, it works. Don't be self-conscious. It doesn't matter. You're doing this in the privacy of your home. So just do it. Let it out. Let it go. All right. And then once you've done your shaking and it feels complete, I invite you to just come back to a comfortable stance, this time relaxed. Nice relaxed mountain pose. Maybe close your eyes or just find a focus point if closing your eyes doesn't feel comfortable to you. And just take a moment. Notice your weight pressing down naturally and evenly through your feet. Notice that gentle core engagement, even when we're not being active. The more we practice stabilizing through the core and grounding through the feet, the more the body naturally remembers to do it when we're just standing casually uh, on our mats in our yoga practice or throughout our days. So just taking a few more breaths here, feeling the energy, softening the face. Maybe one more big breath in and out. And then smiling to yourself. Maybe bring hands to the heart, acknowledging your heart, acknowledging yourself, your power. I thank you for joining me. Be well.